This is Fallout 3. We're here on PlayStation 5 taking a look at the game through a streamed format. So be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So this is the PlayStation 5's PS Premium streaming option. So what are we getting here? Well, it's 720p, but like really jagged around the edges because it doesn't seem like there's any aliasing at all. 30 FPS. So it's not necessarily like the ideal way to play, but if you experience this game, you know, back on say the PS3 or whatever and you want to relive the action of the game, or maybe you want to play Fallout 3 for the first time, this is a way to do it. So since this is streamed, for context, my internet is 130 megabits download and 30 megabits upload currently. So for the most part, when I was playing the game in regards to, I guess you would say, doing the opening sequence, which takes quite a bit of time. For the most part, it was rather smooth. Getting out here, I really can't tell if it's more like a loading kind of thing, where it's like fuzzy due to the distance plus pixelization, but it's really rough looking. Like, I mean, it's the same Fallout experience we had back in the day, but yeah, she's little rough around the edges. That is for sure. Let's go take a look. Well, do we need to visit Megaton? Nah, not really. Let's just keep adventuring. Somebody just get like blown up there. That's kind of funny. So we're fresh out of the vault and we're making our way down to wherever. I'm gonna get a little bit closer before I use the VATS. So yeah, it's kind of a, it's a classic experience. It's one of the greatest games ever made. It's the ultimate wasteland RPG experience, and it's amazing. It really is. It's a game that you could play, I think, multiple times over, and explore, and visit new places, and do new things. It's a great game, really. It genuinely is something that I think so many people like, and so many people have fun with. Gotta get my Tunnel Snakes outfit. Tunnel Snakes forever! So, yeah, just kill somebody that was, like, drinking Raider Saddest armor? That's kind of funny. You know what? Honestly, Megaton's, like, right here. Let's go take a look at it. So, yeah, it's a great game. You forge your own path. I will also mention that I do get, like, occasional, like, scan line type things. That seems to be a decently common, I don't know if decently is the right word, but it seems to be a common thing that you see with streamed games, is like scan type lines in the modern era. So, maybe if your network connection is even stronger, it might be less apparent, or it could just be the whole, PlayStation Premium type thing. And again, this is actually my first foray into the whole, I guess you would say, PlayStation Premium streaming experience. This is the first one I've done, but I obviously will be doing more of them in the future because I'm going to be covering a lot of what the service has to offer going forward. But yeah, for the scope of Fallout 3, like seriously, if you've never played Fallout 3 before, it is so cool. You get to choose your stats and everything like that in the vault. It takes a while. Like, I really wish they would have at some point added an update where it's like, hey, you kind of get to, like, skip the opening things. So, anyways, you are looking for your father. So, your father is somewhere, and you can, like, blow this thing up, and this is the place here. So you're trying to find out what happened to your father. Your father escaped, and then one day, your best gal, I think it's Amanda or whatever, she's like, your father is just kind of like, it has escaped, and you need to look for him. And that is the gist of the game. So you go out there and you explore this large open wasteland, and you are trying to, well, figure out what happened and everything like that. So you don't really get improvements to this because it's like a streamed emulated experience. If anything, it's kind of like not as good as a natively downloaded version because, well, you're streaming the stuff over the network. But it's not bad. It definitely could be a lot worse, I would say, but yeah, I don't know. I'm used to it a little bit more on like the Series X side of things to put that note in, where it's running at 4K 60. You know, so it's a little bit of a difference between the versions. But you know, it's a great game. It genuinely is. You know, so many fun moments going through this and exploring. It's got the imported trophies from the time. It's got that full Fallout experience, and a lot of people really genuinely love that. It's just she's jagged around the edges. It also seems like there's like a lower, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a glowier look to some objects and characters and stuff. It's a bit strange looking. But at the same time, you do get the full scope of the world to visit. It is a massive, massive world that you can do so many things within, which is really cool. Like you can look over there, like you can go over there, or you can go down over here, or you can go up over there, and there's like, you know, hidden secrets, like say the alien blaster, for instance, or trying to think of other cool secrets. Well, I don't want to ruin the end thing, but there's like maybe something a little bit more mechanical. Maybe it would genuinely surprise you the types of factions you'll run into. Mole head crippled, that's it? Oh, that's not good. Man, these mole rats, they are vicious. The VAT system in this is a bit awkward. Now I want to go to this one, and then I want to shoot this thing in the face. No, but we do get the benefit of the DualSense controller, which, you know, obviously this game isn't really equipped to use properly, but it feels nicer, which is a good thing. So you've got to manage your health and your skills and your points as you try to survive the expansive land of Fallout. There's radiation poisoning, you gotta heal yourself up, you gotta talk to people, you gotta form partnerships, do quests. Like, it's kind of nice in the sense that it's like, you don't have to do anything. You know, you make choices, you go and you do different things, and you could speedrun it, or you could take tens of hours going about interacting with different things. Saying hello to different people. Oh wow, these things actually kept following me? Like, you're never sure what you're going to come across. Unless you've played this before, then you probably know exactly what you're going to come across in many, many situations, because you've played the game. It's not like it's changing or anything like that, but, you know, it's still like a really neat, expansive offering. It's an RPG game that I think many genuinely do love. Is there not? I thought there was like a... Oh, here's the town. I was like, could have sworn there's a town right here. And there is. I don't think this guy's very nice.
Hey, who are you? Beast? Well, you can never be too...
He's so casual. I just got like a gun. I mean, I guess everybody would have a gun around here. See, now I can fast travel. Hoo hoo hoo! Isn't that fancy? So anyways, all their friends have been taken. And you can go and help them if you care about them, but I don't really, so... Let's continue onwards out into the wasteland. Like, it really just is kind of a drab way to play it. I do find it fascinating to go back and play some of these different titles, though. I've always found it to be a very intriguing adventure. I've noticed there's, like, the pop-in is a little different in this one, because you can literally see kind of objects load into it. Like, usually pop-in is where you are walking and you see things kind of pop in as you're going. Whereas this one, it seems like more of like a gentler kind of load-in, but at the same time, it's very noticeable, like that sign. You notice that back a little bit. It really just kind of, you know, like loaded in all awkwardly, which is interesting. But once again, it's the limitations of whatever this ran on the PS3, because there's no formal or correct native emulation of this, so we don't get to really take advantage of what the PS5 can offer. It's just more like, hey, we could stream these older games now. This is a simpler way to get it done. Which makes sense. No, it really does. I get it. You know, and obviously it gives benefits to those that are taking in the new PlayStation, well, premium and stuff like that. Did he just drop? Is that like a Fat Boy nuke there? Oh no! Oh no! The frame rate's not the best. Obviously, you know, it's also not like necessarily locked either. Frame rate wise, it aspires to be 30 FPS, which is a bold claim. Yes, the old church area. That's not it. I want to use the map. Hollowed Moor Cemetery. As you could tell, it's a big world. But it's also like, you know, like when you play the later games, like Fallout 4, you know, it actually almost seems like a small world, which is kind of funny. And then, of course, down the road, if we get an even bigger Fallout game someday, I would imagine it's going to be even more massive. You can really tell that they put love and care into every single spot of this game. It seriously is just a lovely time. And then there's all the skill systems, like, you know, I had mentioned, in case you're not familiar with the game, there's full RPG mechanics where you literally are picking skills. I always go for high levels of charisma because I love to be able to sweet talk my way through any situation. I find that very entertaining. You get different clothes, you meet different people, your interactions and stats and everything like that can really change up the different scenes that you get across. You know, if you come up to somebody and you need to, like, sweet talk your way, you have a high charisma, you can basically kind of almost skip things, if that makes sense. It's very, very interesting. And honestly, it looks way sharper on my recording preview window, so I don't know how this is going to look on your end, but I definitely want to say it's very cloudy, I would say, on mine is the biggest thing. Like, it almost looks sub 720p, but I do believe it actually hits that level. And I'm hoping the recording shows off that, like, wave lines pop up occasionally and stuff like that, too. It's hard to tell, to be honest, because, you know, usually when you're recording, the recording software takes the direct feed, right? What the console's seeing, but what you're seeing on your TV might be slightly different from that experience, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're kind of visiting this big area. Like, there's lots of different outposts and people and creatures and raiders, and you never know what you're going to come across. Again, unless you've played the game prior. But if you're new, you're going to be like, whoa, there's all this stuff, and it'd be like, yep, it's a big adventurous world. How do we get in here? Lots of traders.
Ah, fellow student on the...
Until we meet again, random person. Paradise Falls.
Hold it right there. Nobody's allowed into Paradise Falls except on slave. You? There's two kinds. So, unless you're... We might be able to work something out.
Charisma.
If I... That's...
So now I've got to get 500 caps so I can get into paradise. See, that's what I'm talking about. When you get a little bit of charisma going on, you can really, really impact how people react to you, which I love. That's actually, like, one of my favorite things about particularly the Fallout series, is just being to absolutely, like, able to do all kinds of crazy stuff just by dialogue and conversation. It's really, really interesting. Oh crap, one of these things. And there's better guns and stuff you can get, and obviously you can gather, you know, items, and then you can sell it and make money, which is the caps in this universe. You get caps, bottle caps, and then you use that to buy stuff. It's like the bartering system. Well, it's not really like a bartering system, but you know what I mean. It's a new way, an influx of currency, which allows you to get stuff done. Oh, the magic of caps. Like, we're almost visiting a casual area. Like, you can go off in many different directions. You know, in other videos where I've done showcases of this, I've gone off into more of the core of the capital. You know, this time we're... Where are we actually at? We are... Oh, where the paradise is over there. I forgot we just went to paradise. Yeah, we went a lot more, I guess you would say, north. But, you know, there's heavy density in different places. And you can just get off to these, like, crazy spots. Traveling. I do hope at some point we get a remastering. Now, I don't know if that remastering would hit the PlayStation side of things, since, you know, obviously Bethesda's owned by Xbox, but I definitely do hope we get to see this game really shine at some point. And I know we're checking out the PlayStation side of things, but if you haven't played this on the Series X, or I guess also PC, you know, getting it 4K 60 is really, really nice. But I would also love to see, you know, some quality of life improvements. Sprint would be pretty cool. Yeah, I could definitely be down to do a little bit of a jogging. That would be lovely. Console-wise, more mods, like mod support would be good too. So we got some radio tower places up here. They really are just like a lot of spots you can end up going. But it is a very dreary place. You know, when I play Fallout 4, I find that there's a bit more life to it. When I play Fallout 3, and I look through the world, it's a very drab, dreary place. It feels very hopeless. And I guess it really depends on your feeling of what you kind of like gameplay-wise, too, right? Like, I think any of the Fallout games are worth jumping into. But it's just something neat where you can have this preference where you dive into one, you'd be like, oh, wow, you know, this has such a neat aesthetic to it, because it's like a very different type of world.
Hey, man.
You never know what exactly is going to happen. I also turned off the radio, which has classic songs, but don't want to deal with the copyright issues. You know how it is. This is it. It's not even anything good to loot around here. You know, I keep accidentally, you know, throwing my pistol into things because the controls there should be the same, but it feels like, I don't know, it feels odd. These are all empty filing cabinets. Oh, bottle caps. Guess someone was just leaving them in a drawer randomly. I was kind of hoping there'd be something more exciting here. Out here in the wasteland. Ah. Can't say I really get too bored exploring this place. And you can do actual missions and stuff. I've just kind of decided that I'm going to wander off into the obliviousness of this open place. Oh, and I'm very excited to see Oblivion on the PS5. That's going to be fun, too. I have discovered Dickerson Tabernacle Place. Okay, I'm feeling just a little bit of hostility. You know what I'm saying? This drifter is really hurting my feelings. Thank you for your sniper rifle. Going through stim packs like I've got unlimited amounts of them. Did he have ammo? How do I get up there? Whoa! Never leave a good whiskey bottle behind. Can I like jump and interact? Don't really see a way up there. Oh, okay.